Sorry about not having the video up yesterday, but there was a lot of noise in the area and people were over and what have you, so I kind of postponed it. It's going to be like that because it's the holiday season, you know. You're going to have people running around and whatnot. I'm surprised people are going out. This is, that COVID is pretty dangerous and pretty bad right now. Oh, let's see. You see where Giuliani's in the hospital with COVID and possibly infected hundreds of people? Isn't there any way he could be charged with reckless endangerment or something along those lines where it's a criminal, what he was doing was actually criminal, you know? Maybe not, I don't know. What else is seen? Let's see what else is happening. Trump is still hiding in his bedroom, tweeting out insults. He still believes he won the election. And what's really surprising, and I wrote about this, I just posted this to Facebook today, where I'm completely surprised, and I think the educational system has failed. We have all these so-called educated people who are in political office right now, running around and believing everything that comes out of Trump's mouth, including the fact that he won the election. I mean, it would seem to me that our educational system has failed dramatically if these people cannot at least reason that this guy is lying, that he's basically full of shit, that he's so far out of whack that you know, who knows what's going to happen next. I mean, and the problem is that, and I think people are you know, surprised when I say this, but I think he believes everything he says. You know, I don't think he's sitting around going, well, let's see if I can make this story up right now. You know, that's gonna be cool. I can destroy the government. I mean, he's a vengeful prick. I mean, we know that. He's got, you know, he hates to lose, and when he loses, it's somebody else's fault, and somebody has to pay a price. I mean, if you go through the years, the only people that are still with him long term, that haven't been fired or something along the lines, are his kids. And given the right opportunity, he'll throw them under the bus. You know, and I just think with everything that's going on right now, the guy ought to wake up, or somebody ought to shut him up and replace him, even if it's just Pence. Because where we're going right now, people are dying because of him. That's just not cool. You know, that's not. I don't think. Like I said, I think he's committing crimes. He and his people. But what do you do? I mean, how do you stop it? You know, I don't know, people. I really don't know. So what's going on? Christmas plans. I see decorations are still going on. We're doing that up here. Everybody's decorating their windows. All the balconies are getting decorated. The houses down below are getting decorated. I think that's cool, you know. There was a lot of fireworks December 1st, so I think there's this, you know, they call these events, I think Christmas is going to be a major super spreader down here, because you have to understand, Christmas and New Year's are party days. I mean, you know, Christmas, this is a really Catholic country, but Christmas is not celebrated in the Catholic way. Christmas is celebrated by seeing how drunk you can get and staying up all night and drinking and dancing and partying and having, which is, you know, I understand the dancing and the partying and having a good time, but seeing how drunk you can get and how stupid you can be is just beyond me. You know, I see that in my family. I see that everywhere. You know, and it's, people get hurt. You know, if this was the United States, people would be dying in car crashes and everything like that. It's hard to go fast enough to kill you in a car crash, but I mean, you can still do it down here. I just, you know, and I just think that the parties that they have aren't going to stop. You know, people, my family is considering where they're going to go and what they're going to do, and I don't really care because I don't leave the house on Christmas. I'm not getting myself killed because of some dickhead, you know, gets crazy or something. I'm not. That's not me. All right, they want to do it. That's fine. I'll mourn them for about a half hour, but because of the stupidity involved. So I don't know what's going to happen on that end of the deal. they're still waiting for the results from Thanksgiving, and they say they won't know about them until Christmas. Well, announcing Christmas Eve you're going to do new restrictions is definitely not going to work. If you're going to do restrictions, you ought to do it now. I mean, like, we're a small country, and we averaged something like 9,200 cases or 8,900 cases last week, per day, on a daily basis. Let's see, yesterday we had 8,800 cases, brand new cases. We have over 37,000 people dead. There's only about 50 million people in this country. So if you expand that out to the 300 and some odd million that are in America, we're pretty much close to them. I read also where everybody's waiting for this vaccine, and then some rumors are that they're going to take the Chinese vaccine. Well, Argentina took the Chinese vaccine and had all kinds of problems with it. They were testing it, and they had all kinds of problems with children, and I would never take the Chinese vaccine. I'm not so sure I take Pfizer's either, but I definitely wouldn't take a Chinese vaccine right now. I just don't trust that government right now. I wouldn't want to be Biden, to tell you the truth. I mean, the things he's going to face besides COVID. He's got an economy that's about 2 seconds from crashing completely, looking like 1929 or whatever it was, the stock market crash. He's about 2 minutes away from that. Trump is doing nothing except destroying the country. He's done more proclamations than any other president in history. He goes after immigration. He goes after banking laws. He's going after labor. He's going after everything. This is the guy people swear by him still. Trump is the greatest president we ever had. Based upon what? I mean, I haven't seen somebody my age. Well, I shouldn't say there probably are people my age, but I haven't seen any or heard any that have gone out and said Trump is the greatest president in my lifetime. Where were you your whole lifetime? I don't think there's ever been another Trump, but we better watch out, because there could be another one after this. His kids are there. There's people out there that believe like him. He said, this could never happen again. The Democrats are too strong now. Have you ever looked at the history of war? I mean, the mistakes that we've made that just keep coming back to haunt us. That old saying that those that refuse to to learn from history are destined to repeat it is very true. We don't learn from history. We don't learn by our mistakes. A 3-year-old learns by his mistakes. A 30-year-old doesn't learn from their mistakes. They think they can do it again. It's the, what is it? The definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Hey, you never know. You might be the one. Well, it's a Monday. Boy, Mondays aren't that bad down here. I mean, especially since I'm retired, so it doesn't really affect me at all. Traffic-wise, Mondays aren't that bad either. It's down here in America. It used to be Tuesdays. Down here, it's like Wednesday seems to be the really, really big traffic day. I don't know whether that's because people go shopping or sales start or something like that, so people run to the supermarket and everything to buy food for the weekend. I'm really not sure about that, since I don't get involved in a lot of the personal stuff that goes on around here. I know there's a lot of money where I live, because the people go away for the weekends all the time, constantly, to get away from this crap. It's either their place or their family's place, someplace. Usually a farm or something like that. Farms are strange down here. Usually, if you live out in the country, the roads are almost damn near impassable, and you have to look at it this way. It takes about minimum of 20 minutes for an ambulance to to get to you here, usually a lot longer than that. So if you live on a bad road, where you can't drive on it, it's going to take emergency services. Never. You're just never going to see them. So that's the rural. You go out in the rural country, it's worse than it is here. I mean, you go out in the farmland, and if you don't bring a gallon of off with you, you're going to get eaten alive by mosquitoes. I'm rambling again, don't you? That's just because I just feel like rambling today. It's a Monday. Who cares? Well, listen. Here's one for you. Should have done this at the start. Today's December 7th, the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And I find that nowhere did anybody on Facebook mention it. And a lot of people have veterans in their families, but they don't mention it. They don't mention, this year there was very little mention of 9/11. It's, I guess, it's what they say. We have a limited attention span nowadays. We're more and when you have something like COVID out there, people start to think only of themselves. They don't think of groups. For the most part, you see all these people doing all this work, and you say, "Oh, look, we're all pulling together." That's about 10% of the population. The other 90% is saying, "Fuck you, leave me alone." All right, listen, it's Monday. I'm out of here. I can't say I'm going to go watch football. I'm just not going to talk anymore. Ciao.